Hello, hello. Oh, I can't. Oh, there I am. Yay. Okay, guys, sorry I'm starting late. I know there's a few people of you that are going to start jumping on here in a minute. So right now we're just going to kind of chit chat. I'm trying to, okay, if anybody has any advice on how to get the live video on your actual laptop, I have a really hard time with it. The last 2 times I've tried to do it from my computer, it asks me so many questions and I get lost. So anybody who can give me some advice on how to do live videos from my computer instead of my phone would be great. So as I promised you guys, we have a special guest today. I'm going to scoot this over a little bit more. This is Lauren Hanson. She is my essential oil guru. She is a mom of 3 boys like me, so we have lots in common. Lots of stinky noses and farts and, you know, all that good jazz. Yeah. It's a common words in our homes, having boys. She's also a former palliative care and oncology registered nurse. And now she is a doTERRA wellness advocate and essential oil educator. So she's been really helpful with me. I've been using essential oils for 7 years, or maybe was it 6? I don't know, something like that, 6 or 7 years. But I've just kind of been playing around with this, that, and the other. My favorite oils are doTERRA, which is why I brought Lauren alongside with me to kind of talk a little bit more about it and the details on it. Because I really don't know much, and I know some people know that I'm like my little health guru or whatever, but I don't really have answers, so I send them to her. So the first question I want to ask you today, what made you start using essential oils, and why did you choose doTERRA out of all the other ones out there?
Okay. So, hi, nice to meet you all, live. So the reason I got into essential oils, so like Melissa said, my background is in nursing, and I loved working in the hospital setting with my oncology patients and end-of-life care. But in 2015, my husband got really sick, and we had to... we went to all these different doctors. We saw about 15 different specialists. We lived in Columbia, Missouri at the time, and we had gone to see doctors in Columbia and Kansas City, St. Louis, and Minnesota, where my husband's from. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. His symptom list was about 50 symptoms long, and they ranged from jaw pain to he was having neuropathy in his legs, he was having extreme brain fog, fatigue. He would get home, he's an engineer, and he'd get home from his job and lay on the couch, and I'd have to feed him and then help him to bed. So like he was going down really fast, and we had a newborn, we had a 2.5-year-old at the time. So it was really frustrating, and so even though, you know, we went to see all these doctors, and this one doctor at WashU said, we know you have something, we just don't know what it is, so come back in 2 to 3 years and we'll test your DNA, goodness. And hopefully your body will catch up to the science, right? And at this time, my husband, who's like, well, you've seen Andy, he's tall and skinny, right? He lost about 35-40 pounds, and he didn't have that much weight to lose. He was all sunken in, and he was falling asleep at work, and as an engineer, you don't want that. No. Right? And, you know, he was just having this extreme panic attacks when he's like the most chill guy. So anyway, even though the doctor like told us, you know, to come back in 2 to 3 years, that was so frustrating. Yeah. Because here's my husband, he's like literally dying, and we've been on this, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong, but they were treating him for all the different symptoms. And after all of that, he was on 18 different medications. And we had spent over $15,000 in a 6-month period trying to figure out what was wrong with him. Holy so like crap. It was awful. It was awful. And unfortunately, the medications that he was taking, they had some really bad side effects, one being suicidal thoughts. And one day I came into our bedroom and he's crying and he's like, I think I'm going to hurt myself. And I'm like, no. We've got to figure out something, and what we're doing is not working. Right. So I kind of I was researching. We tried so many things. We'd traveled so much. And one of my friends said, "Have you heard of essential oils?" And I was like, I just kind of rolled my eyes.
I'm a nurse. I don't do essential oils.
You know, in nursing school, you're not taught about that. So,
Right.
I learned, I think the only thing I learned about in nursing school with essential oils is if someone has a hard time peeing, you put a drop of peppermint in the toilet and it helps to, like, open things up.
For real?
No, for real. That's really legit.
Can we use that for potty training our
You
kids?
could. I mean, I'm sure that would help open things up.
Okay, so mamas that are trying to potty train, get some peppermint, put it in the toilet.
You know what? It's funny. I just Levi, he turns 4 tomorrow. But I just finished potty training him in January. Why did I never think of that?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Now we've got a new thing.
That's hilarious. A new use for peppermint.
Right.
But anyway, so one of my friends said, "Have you heard of essential oils?" And so I started doing my own research. When I do research, I go to like where the science is. So I go to PubMed.gov and I'm typing in essential oils, and I'm just like, I love science. I love to read and like all the different, research that's out there. And I just typed in essential oils, and this article came up talking about On Guard, which is an oil that doTERRA has. That
One of my favorites.
Vanderbilt University did, and they tested it against the 5 essential oils that are in On Guard. So it's cinnamon, clove, wild orange, eucalyptus, and rosemary.
And
so
it smells wonderful.
it smells like Christmas. I'm open. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm opening it.
Just a
I
quick
smell
sniff.
it all the time. But anyway, this is what my house smells like pretty much all year round, because with 3 boys, they're gross, they're
Yes.
stinky, and that school and
Yeah.
right now, honestly, there's a lot of germs around, and this is a great oil to help support your immune system. And I did this article talked about how they tested it with MRSA and H1N1 flu, and both of those things did not grow in the presence of these 5 essential oils. And I was like, okay, I want that blend, because that was the year that H1N1 was everywhere on my unit.
Wow.
And the flu vaccine that they had used that year did not work. And so my patients and all the staff, my coworkers, were dropping like flies.
Yeah.
I was the only one on my floor that didn't get it that year, and I had ordered a kit, and had gotten my On Guard, and the only difference was really I was using it every day before work to support my immune system. It's not a cure-all. The essential oils, they're supposed to be to help support your immune system, to support your body the way that's already meant to
Like
created
similar
to do.
to a vitamin or something.
Yeah,
maybe?
so it's meant to support your body the way that it was created to do so. It's to fight off the infection, whatever. It just is like an assistant, basically.
Okay.
It helps support. So I was like, once I read about that On Guard, I was like, hands down, ready to go. And so I got the kit, we started using them, and do we have a...
I have a teenager popping in. Sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
But
Hey,
Casey.
it wouldn't be a live video if it wasn't for a child coming in the middle of it. That
Yes.
happens every single time I do a class.
So the knocking you guys kept hearing were my children saying they were going to go leave and get food because they're hungry, because I've been a bad mom and have not been to the grocery store in like
It's
a
okay.
week and a half.
It's okay.
So we're running out of food. I think we have a few eggs and some bread and milk and toilet paper.
Okay, well, that's what you need for any winter storm.
The essentials.
Just
But apparently it's not food they want. So
no,
they're going to get
almond
food.
butter, peanut butter. Okay, so where was I?
We were talking about On Guard.
Oh, and why
and
I
you
got
weren't
it.
getting sick because you bought a kit. And
Right,
that's when you
and
left
so
off.
it really just like kind of solidified my belief in
Mm-hmm.
oils. I realized before I'd gotten with doTERRA, I had tried different brands. We'd gone to the health food store, but I didn't really understand the difference between all the different oils and
Mm-hmm.
the brands. And what it came down to was the fact that it comes down to therapeutic grade level, because you can get scented oils at Target
Mm-hmm.
for $1, but those aren't going to be your therapeutic oils that you want to use for. So
Yeah, so here's things, my beginner's thing, and that I don't use it therapeutically, but sometimes when I run out of the other one, this is my backup for scenting. What do you
Yeah.
call that? Diffusing.
Yeah,
But-
but you're not going to do that anymore, right?
Correct.
Because
This is going to be my do not use these oils.
Right. Actually, that's really funny you have that because this is okay. So
I think I've had that about 7 years.
When Andy first got sick and he heard about essential oils, he went and got this brand peppermint.
Yeah.
And he smelled it and he was like, "This isn't doing anything," because he had heard it helped with fatigue.
I think I have rosemary too.
And he had heard that it helped fatigue, so he was like, "I'm going to try it." When we get the doTERRA peppermint, it was like, hands down. It was a total difference. You can tell
for sure.
Because when you're getting a therapeutic grade oil, it's like a more medicinal grade.
Yeah.
So like it's going to be more beneficial for your body. It's not just a scented oil, and because essential oils are not FDA regulated, they can put 100% on the bottle but not be 100% pure.
Right, you guys.
And
for real. It says 100% on there.
And unfortunately,
it's not.
there's no testing to prove that. But doTERRA third-party tests, and they have all of their, on the bottle of the bottle, I don't know if you can see that at all. There's like a little code, and you can actually go to source2u.com and type in the code and get the testing results. So it's very it's very important to me. If I'm going to put oils on my kiddos, on myself, and recommend them to my family and friends, I want to make sure that it's pure, that I'm not putting, since I have a son that has peanut allergies, I have to make sure that they're not putting peanut oil as a carrier oil in there or a filler, right? Yeah. So when you see a bottle of oil for a few dollars, $10 at the store, and it's like frankincense, which that oil is a very...
It stinks, but a regular real like doTERRA frankincense is beautiful.
It smells really good, but you also know that that frankincense that they got is not... Either it's not true frankincense, or they paid the people that harvest that oil, they get it from the resin, and it's a very long process. How much they got paid pennies, if that. Yeah. And so it's really important when you're looking at oils that you're looking at the quality, that you want a therapeutic grade quality, that if you're going to be using it on your body, even diffusing it. Like some people think, well, it's not a big deal if I diffuse the oil if they're the cheap ones. No, because unfortunately you don't know what's in those bottles, and you could be putting in all kinds of nasty chemicals that aren't supposed to be put inside your lungs. And when you breathe it in, you are breathing it in and breathing in chemicals.
To your lungs.
Right. And so if it's not a good quality oil that you don't know is pure, it's a little scary.
Right. So you keep talking about therapeutic grade.
Yeah.
For those people that don't know what that means.
Medical?
Yes.
Okay.
Like what are they,
like
how would you explain
grade?
what therapeutic grade is compared to what?
Okay. So like therapeutic grade is going to be more medicinal use. It's going to be more health grade. It's not going to be your scented oil necessarily, just like what you get at the store, or like Bath and Body Works, those kind of things. Those are going to be scented, right? But they're not going to have the therapeutic benefits, the health benefits that essential oils do. So whether they're opening, like different oils help to open up your airways. So if you have issues, kind of like asthma, or where you have a lot of constriction, peppermint and eucalyptus, those oils can actually help. If it's a pure therapeutic grade oil, those oils can actually help open up your airways and support your respiratory system like you need.
Right. So, like, how do you know, like you were saying on, there's no regulations to where it can say it's 100% oil but not really be. What about oils like this one? This came with someone bought me a diffuser one time, and it came with a bunch of oils. It does say it's a pure essential oil, and it says it's a therapeutic grade. So how, and it even says 100%. So how does that, is that for real? Or how do you know? How do you find out?
This specific brand, actually, I know 100% this is not a good brand. So
it doesn't do anything, just FYI.
Yeah, well, there's a reason. Because it's full of nastiness. So that particular brand, that's interesting that you bring that up. So when I started, I didn't want to just be like gung-ho on one brand. I want to do my own research. I want to feel like, because doTERRA is like, what I had friends that sold other companies and other brands. So I wanted to go with a company that I felt I believed in, but also like I needed to see the science. And there's other third-party testing companies that actually test different brands of oils, including doTERRA. Yeah. And doTERRA hasn't gotten the bad results. That particular brand, it specifically with their peppermint, actually, that it wasn't, it's very, unfortunately, it's easy to kind of mess with some of the science and I'm going to go sciencey on you, the chemical constituents in it, and manipulate it in a way that maybe smells good, but is not therapeutic. And so that
it might have the scent of kind of like an artificial
like a
flavor.
peppermint candy,
Yeah.
but you're not getting the actual, like if you smell the difference between the peppermint, that brand and doTERRA, it smells night and day. And I've actually been to the peppermint fields that we have up in Oregon, and it's amazing. But you can smell the difference between a candy sweet scented oil and an oil that's therapeutic grade, that's medicinal, that you can, you can tell a difference. In doTERRA, where we get our oils are where they're naturally grown. And so like our wild orange, it comes from Brazil. And Brazil. Okay. Sorry. I get into my Spanish. It comes from Brazil, and it's going to be, that's funny. It's going to be very different than the wild orange that you get, like if you got a wild orange from Missouri, right?
Okay.
It doesn't have the same type of climate, the
Things
soil.
pollinating it.
Yeah, I mean, everything is going to be much better down, like it's going to be more therapeutic. You're going to get a better product where it's naturally grown. Yes, exactly. Okay. So that's where doTERRA. So like doTERRA gets our lavender from Bulgaria, not from Utah. It where it's better grown. Is where it's, and also like doTERRA also where we get our oils.
Quality.
Exactly. And the best therapeutic grade. And that's honestly why different hospitals are utilizing doTERRA in their research. I know for specifically Vanderbilt University and Duke and Johns Hopkins, they're all using doTERRA essential oils in their research.
Nice.
And as a nurse, that kind of stuck out to me. I was like, okay, if they're using the best, I want that for my family. Right. And actually, when I thought about the cost, I got a kit at the beginning. I actually bought the same kit that you did. And it was an investment, but man, it's been so good since then. Like we've used it for so many different things and so I'm sure people were wondering like what happened with Andy afterwards. Yeah. Because they're kind of like, okay, so use the oils.
We missed that. More of the story is research your oils. If you want to use them, research them and talk to people who know what they're talking about. But what happened to Andy?
So a year later, we went back to that same doctor at WashU, and he was like, I see that you are doing better, but what? You're not taking the medications I prescribed.
What changed?
Which, by the way, that medication that he prescribed is the one that gave him the bad symptoms, the suicidal thoughts. So I was like, well, and he said, actually, I'm just doing the oils and these supplements that doTERRA has. And we brought all of it that, to show him, and he was like, well, I don't know about all that, but keep doing what you're doing, because it must be working, and come back if you need me. And that's been 5 years. We haven't had to go back. And Andy, I would say, is 95% better. Every once in a while, like if he gets sick, we can tell like we have to be very careful to support his immune system and give him, the vitamins that he needs and whatever else. But no, they never figured out what was wrong with him.
That was my next question.
No, they didn't.
They still don't know.
And we really just we were very thankful to God for bringing these oils in at the right time. Right. When we really needed it, and we really needed to be offered hope and be empowered that we had options out there, and that it didn't have to. Now, I'm not anti-medicine. Okay, I want to make sure that people say that, because I'm not anti-medicine, but I think the right time or place. We still use Benadryl. We still use. Like, for example, my son has a peanut allergy, so we have an EpiPen, But at the same time, we have become so dependent on medications. Yeah. And there can be so many other options out there to use prior to you have to resort to medication. Yeah. And so it should be kind of like as a preventative. As a to be proactive with your health and helping your health now, so that you don't have to get to that point where you're like Andy and you're sick and so frustrated. And also when you're sick and you're being told we don't know what's wrong with you, how frustrating is that? Right. We felt so hopeless at that point. We were thankful that we had prayer warriors and family around us, but it was still like, what do we do? Yeah. And, having 2 young kiddos. And we're just thankful that we have these oils that really helped us at that time to offer us the support. And so we transitioned out of he ended up getting an amazing job in St. Louis, which I was excited about because this is where I'm from.
Okay.
So we moved here, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to go back to working in the hospital setting.
Wow.
Because I really enjoy, now we got pregnant too, so we had 3 boys now, and I was like, I just think that it would be better if I got to stay home with them, and then empower other people, and kind of take my nursing to the more like consulting, so where I can meet people one-to-one. We don't have to meet inside a hospital, for me to help them. So that's what I do.
That's awesome.
Long story short.
Yeah, I know. Hey, no, we're good. So when you were talking about, we were talking about therapeutic grade, and we were talking about diffusing versus topically and even ingesting. I don't know that you mentioned that, but you can ingest most of doTERRA's, or is it all of them?
No, not all of them. Certain ones are not meant to be ingested.
Okay.
Like wintergreen, different things, certain blends.
Okay.
The ones that you can ingest, like they'll have on the side of the bottle, here like this, the supplemental facts, like you would see on a box of crackers or something like that. The supplemental facts, those are the ones you can take internally. Okay. And honestly, there's it's food grade, but there's a reason and a benefit sometime to take an oil internally. Okay. That helps, with maybe some inner issues that you might be dealing with.
Digestion's my favorite.
Yep, digestion's a great one to help.
For when you have a tummy, like indigestion and stuff, it tastes like black licorice, so I feel like I'm eating candy, but I'm not. Yeah. But it makes my tummy feel better. But you know what? Even if you don't like black licorice and you don't like that smell, digestion is amazing. And honestly, I mean, to be gross and boys, we call it Insta-poop in our family. Insta-poop. I know. So if you're constipated. But it really does work. And so my kiddo, I have one boy that is... So you need to come up with a detox regimen with digestion. There is actually. Is there really? Oh my God. We're going to be talking later about that. But there are oils that really help her. I mean, I can't even tell you. The ongoing joke is there's an oil for that, and there really is. Yeah. There's just so many different oils that help support our body, the way that we need it to. And it's not just for your body. I mean, you can use it for cleaning, for cooking. I cook with them all the time. Actually, last night I made really good tacos, just a side note, with cumin essential oil, and it was so good because I didn't have the spice, and so just one drop of oil, and I had this amazing, these tacos, these street tacos. Nice. They were really good. So I'm coming to your house next time you make tacos. Okay. Actually, I think we're doing Taco Tuesday tonight. So diffusing, when you're diffusing them, what is the benefits of diffusing your oils for scenting your home? Obviously, there's therapeutic reasons, but I'm thinking more of scenting your home rather than using, those plug-ins that you plug in your wall or candles. So I used to love candles, and then I found out other reasons why you don't want to use. I mean, besides just the open flame and 3 children, not a good idea. Okay. Right. But also, there are so many. Okay, so there's a lot of chemicals in those. The petroleum, one thing. A lot of unless it's a soy-based candle. Okay. A lot of times there's a lot of chemicals, and when you're breathing that in, you're breathing in a lot of chemicals, and that actually can cause internal issues in your lungs. Wow. Soot actually covers, and unless it's an open room where you have a way for it to go out. And actually, if you've never noticed on houses that do a lot of candles, when you're selling it, sometimes there's a soot level on the edges of the carpet. You can see that. I'm going to have to start watching that. So fellow realtors. Yeah. So when we're viewing homes, let's take a look at that. And you can see a lot, if it's coating that on your walls and your carpet, what is that doing to the inside of your lungs, right? Same thing with plugins. The plugins have all kinds of issues, and because that scent is not therapeutic grade, so they're just chemicals. They're scented chemicals. So you're basically diffusing chemicals into your house, which is coming into your lungs. Breathing into them, right? And there's I could go sciencey and tell you the specific ones, but some of these chemical reactions create formaldehyde, and and then that's a known carcinogen. Right. And so, but you don't know it's happening on the internal level. Isn't that what they embalm people with? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, you guys! Yeah, and also... Okay, no more plugins. They also can cause, considered endocrine disruptors, the phthalates that are in
You've probably, I don't know if you've heard of
I know.
phthalates.
I have, but
green.
for the non-sciencey medical
Okay, so
people.
there's like,
and
you know,
endocrine
phthalates.
meaning brain.
Well, no, endocrine is hormones.
Oh, hormones. Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. So when you do, it's the phthalates can actually mess with your hormones, and so
Is a phthalate a hormone? What
it's-
is a phthalate?
It is the chemical in the candle.
Oh,
So like
that's in the
or
candle.
it's like a chemical. Actually, there's like phthalates in your body washes and stuff like that. You might see like sulfate free phthalate is just basically you want to.
It's a chemical.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to cause issues with your. I mean, I printed out the sciencey thing, but just for us general.
Right.
Okay. It's just phthalates are bad and they can cause
They're chemicals.
hormone disruption. So
Got
you
it.
don't want to mess with that.
Got it.
So using essential oils, diffusing is a much healthier way, and it's actually one of the best ways to affect your mood. So when you're breathing the oils in, the aromatic compounds, it can actually stimulate like your limbic system and part of your brain, and actually stimulates different neurochemicals in your brain like serotonin to be released. So
Which is
it's
the
like,
happy hormone.
it's like physically calming you down. Lavender does that specifically. Just breathing in a bottle of lavender, you don't even have to have a diffuser. You could just open it up like this. Oops, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, if you
It's
ever
so
see
good.
me just sniffing an oil, it's because I'm trying to.
So with a house full of boys, this is a great idea
Yes.
to diffuse and calm down. Hey, Stephanie. And it's just great oils to use aromatically just to help,
Yeah.
And for like realtors,
Yeah.
like great ones to diffuse is like Citrus Bliss. It smells like a dreamsicle, but when you walk in a house, like it smells really like cheerful. Or like
Okay.
in your office, if you want to have something that like happy buyers, right?
Yes.
Is a good thing.
For
Not
that,
stressed out buyers.
For that buyer or that seller that is stressing you out because you can't figure out
What they want.
what they want. And you just need that, okay, I need to take a time out and sniff Citrus Bliss.
Yes. So Citrus Bliss is all the citrus oils and a little bit of vanilla. Absolute. And it smells really, really good. So
That's what Citrus Bliss is?
Uh-huh.
I just got this last month, so
Yeah,
I'm
you
pretty
got it for
excited.
free.
I haven't used it. I did get it for free.
Yeah.
For
my leadership
ordering.
program.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's really,
Nice.
really smells good. But also another one, like, they've told you, at least when we were selling our home in Columbia, it smells good to have something baking.
Yes.
It makes them think. So having oils like cinnamon and different oils, especially on the holidays, there's different blends. Harvest
you guys
Spice.
have a holiday blend. that I
They have 3. Holiday
love.
Joy is a great one, and it smells just really inviting.
Christmassy.
And it smells really good. And then you could have even like lemon or different ones that smell clean. There's also Purify if you have a house that stinks maybe because of pets.
Mm-hmm.
That really, really helps after you
What about the cigarette smoker people that have
smell.
homes that you know that they've been smoking in their home?
So
Does Purify help with that?
I don't know, because a lot of that has to do with in their vents and in the drywall.
Okay.
So a lot of that smoke that you're going to have to like use a specific person. I have a person for that can do that.
Okay.
But then after that, then you can use essential oils to help freshen everything up and make it
Awesome.
smell really good. Also, like other ideas for realtors. So there's if you have like a sticky residue like on a picture frame, or a kid put a bunch of stickers all over their walls or whatever, and you have that sticky residue, you can literally put 1 drop of lemon on your thumb and just kind of work it on that, and it will take the residue right off.
Like Goo Gone.
Yes, but it's like healthy, and the bottle of lemon is like $10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the cheapest thing.
cheap. Do I have
and
a
we
bigger
use
bottle?
it to clean it all the time.
They have
And
different size bottles. The one that I have,
Your
well,
kit is
I have a smaller bottle. Oh, that's oregano. That's not even lemon. I don't know. It's in here somewhere, but it's a small. They've got these small ones, and then they've got the Go call your dad and tell him I can't talk. My husband keeps trying to call while we're live.
So
but,
lemon is a really good one to diffuse, and that's a really good one for like cleaning. It just smells really good. We do that. We diffuse that often in the bathrooms to smell clean. Same thing in the kitchen.
Okay.
Or other citrus oils smell really good in the kitchen. And
Yeah.
so if you're showing a house that maybe, you know, has a unique smell in the kitchen or something
Yeah.
like that, diffusing
I
that.
love that
just
unique smell.
You can also make like things to put down in the garbage disposal that kind of makes it smell better.
I've used lemon down there before.
That really like is helpful.
Nice. So I'm just going to throw this in there since we
Yeah.
were talking about On Guard and how it's an immunity booster and stuff and support. And considering the fact that H1N1 and MRSA are both parts of the coronavirus, correct?
Nope, it's different. So,
it's different?
Right. And so they're all like the MRSA is a bacteria, Staph aureus, staph, H1N1, but I you know, we have to be really careful with what we say because we can't say that it's going to cure it or protect it, right? But it is a good one just to support your immune system. So right now, it's definitely a great oil to diffuse.
That's what I was going to ask. That's kind of where I was going. So like,
and also like they have hand sanitizer. So
Okay, so this is where I was going with that, y'all. The On Guard for us realtors are people who are buyers or sellers that are looking to buy or sell your homes. Having, you know, maybe a great closing gift to give your buyer a bottle of that On Guard, or even just have it on and ask them when you're having open houses or something to diffuse that in the house, and that will help. I mean, one, make it smell good, but you know, we don't know obviously what it's going to do with the coronavirus, but people are still, you know, trying to get out there, and they're still kind of concerned about, you know, since we don't really know a lot about this specific COVID-19, but I mean, what would it hurt to diffuse it? Or like she said, have this hand sanitizer that has these natural benefits instead of putting alcohol on your, you know, on your hands and drying them out.
Alcohol, but it also has an apple extract that actually makes it soft. So I've had, I mean, and it's like a nice spray. And I was, it smells really good. Right?
I love it.
But it doesn't make your hands like dry or sticky. And so like working in the hospital setting when your hands are dry, or even when you're washing your hands all the time, you need something that's going to be a little bit more moisturizing. Yeah. But also this is how much? 64%. So it has to be over 60% alcohol for it to be effective.
Okay, so there is still alcohol, but it got this smelly goods. So it's still effective. You know, the COVID-19, they were saying 60 to 70%. So this takes that, but then you don't got the nasty smell from the alcohol. And then you've got the other added benefits of immunity with the On Guard.
And I use that to spray down on my kitchen or my like the shopping cart when we go out to eat.
Oh,
just
that's
to kind
a
of
good idea.
Off the table because, you know, my kid doesn't. His food ends up on the table and not the
gosh.
plate, so you need to kind of clean things up.
You're funny. So we kind of touched on this a little bit as far as what to diffuse for realtors to kind of help with that struggle client or whatever. But what about for you and your family for immunity? Obviously we covered On Guard, but immunity and like maybe stress reduction, or what are your favorites?
So I have a lot of favorites.
Okay. What's your go-to?
Well, I have a lot of go-tos.
Okay. So is it matter like what your stress?
You know, because there's different causes, right? For stress, and everyone responds differently. And so some days I might need balance to help ground me because my children are just driving me crazy, right? Yeah. But I might use adaptive because I have a stressful deadline for, you know, me for my job, or my husband has a stressful deadline and he's just needing some additional emotional support. I'll reach for different oils. That's what's great is like you don't have just like this oil is for this and only this. Like there's so many different options that you can use, and you just kind of reach for the one that, you know, you want that day. Smell it. If you respond to it and it immediately like starts to make you feel better, use that one. If not, go find another oil. Use a lavender, or even, you know, frankincense, or some different oils. So we use that for stress relief at nighttime. To get a good night's sleep, I use these Serenity soft gels to help me not just go to sleep, but stay asleep. But I find that when I have good restorative sleep at nighttime, when I wake up in the morning, I am like much more level-headed, and like my anxiety level is so much lower than if I was tossing and turning, waking up with a sore back or whatever else, you know? And so like I use the Serenity soft gels. I use the adaptive oil or adaptive soft gels a lot, just when I'm needing an additional emotional support. And right now, with all the crazy stress that is going on outside, this is like, I'm using my oils all the time, and I'm very thankful that I don't have to, you know, run and take or Ativan or a Xanax or something like that, which, you know, for some people that is exactly what they need.
Right.
Andy, it caused really bad side effects. And so I'm just thankful that we have an oil that we can use like as a first line of defense.
Right.
For when I start to have those feelings, immediately maybe put a drop of lavender or actually balance. Let me get that balance out. It's like super easy. And balance is a good one. Actually, a lot of men like it because it's not very strong. It's very, very subtle.
Right. Yeah.
And earthy. It's a bunch of tree oils. But I just like rub it in my hands and then and take some deep breaths and then kind of rub on the back of the neck, or you can put it, for women, you can put it on your hair because it's a natural diffuser. Or even like I have a diffusing necklace right here that I can just sometimes I look weird, but like
I have one too, and people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm sniffing my oils.
Well, like if I'm, you know, my children are like, you touch me in the car, and I'm just like, oh Lord, you know, we have 3 miles till I get home, and I'm like sniffing my oil, but whatever, it works, right?
Right,
it works.
right.
So I'd much rather use an oil than pop a pill.
Right. Well, and I love how you said that pick the oil that works for you. So not all is created equal. So I know peppermint is a good one for headaches is what they say, but for me, they don't work.
Yeah.
The peppermint actually makes my headache worse. So I prefer using other oils for that. And we're not going to go into details because I want to be respectful of your guys' time. But that's one of those things, like if you have certain, we'll get to that towards the end, but if you have certain needs or things that you want more information on, I'm going to give you Lauren's contact information and at the end of this video. So stay tuned because we're not done yet. I've got a couple other questions. So I know we talked a little bit about realtors. Are there any other like oils or any other, what are the benefits of
For realtors using essential oils?
Yeah.
So not only
like
for
what are some things that we
themselves-
can use?
Yeah.
Like is it for us? Is it for our clients? Is it for
Absolutely.
the homes? Like what is your
So
suggestion?
diffusing in your office is a great idea. Just because especially right now, you know, you need an additional immune support.
Yeah.
While you're seeing, you know, your clients out and about and going through and touring different homes, you don't know necessarily what you're walking into.
Right.
So you want to kind of support your immune system that way.
Okay.
Diffusing oils that maybe in the middle of the afternoon when you're
Right.
going for coffee, or you know, instead of reaching for coffee, maybe peppermint and wild orange to kind of wake you up.
Right.
So that's a good one to diffuse. Just different oils that kind of based on if you're stressed, you know, oils for stress. But you know what? It's really nice is when we closed with our realtor. I don't remember what she got us when we closed in Columbia, and except for I remember a jar of black eyed peas for good luck. I don't really remember, and that's honestly still in my pantry because I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these black eyed peas? But what I would have loved to get would have been a diffuser with some essential oils, and doTERRA actually has this smaller diffuser.
Yeah. I just got this in my kit. So I got
It's
a
just
kit
small.
recently.
It kind of looks like a little donut, but it's like super easy to use.
Yeah.
You just put a little bit of water to that little red line.
All these and that all came in one kit, and it was very affordable.
Yeah, they even have it where you can buy another, a smaller or a bigger oil, a bigger diffuser called the Petal Kit, and it comes with 2 small bottles of, I think, lavender and wild orange.
Okay.
And so that's a good one, like if you're wanting one that's maybe not as expensive or something like that,
Yeah.
wanting to buy them a whole kit.
Right.
You could just get, you know, the oils.
Can you get this by itself without oils if you already have oil? Like,
Yeah. Yep.
if you're already a doTERRA
You
user.
can, right, you can buy the diffuser by itself. Or, you know, even if you're wanting to do kind of like a cleaning basket or green cleaning or something, they have a cleaner concentrate of the On Guard.
Okay.
And it's like $14 or something like that. But it lasts a really long time. Like it lasts over 6 months for us because
Wow.
it's just a concentrate. So you're using it a little bit at a time. But then it's safe for kids, safe for pets, and it's effective.
Okay.
So that's like another, you know, I don't know. Just
No, I
an
like it.
idea for some closing day things that maybe
Yeah.
are just outside of the norm of black eyed pea jars of black eyed
Right.
peas or gift cards or something like that.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit more personal.
Yeah.
And right now that, you know, getting some On Guard might be a good idea.
Yes. I'm glad I just got mine in my kit.
Yes.
You had mentioned when we were talking about ingestible, you were talking about soft gels. I know what they are, but I want you to like.
Which
what is
why would
the
you wanna
soft
take
gel
soft
like? Why was
so
compared
it's
to
like
like ingesting just the oil by itself?
Okay, so the soft gel specifically that I was talking about, Serenity soft gels, it's different than the oil, the Serenity oil. The soft gels actually have some different like ahi flower and some other extracts and herbs that are going to be helping with sleep. And it's just a way of taking it. It's just going to be like a sleeping pill, but not. I've given it.
But it's still just an oil.
Yeah,
it's not anything added to it. It's just
it
like
does
a veggie cap or whatever.
Nope, it's a little different than a veggie cap. It's not just the straight oil. It has ahi flower and other like extracts and herbs in it to help you with sleep.
Okay.
So, but I'm telling you what, and if I have anyone that tells me they're having issues with anxiety, that is the first thing that I recommend. And I give
the Serenity
soft gels, and the adaptive oil, and I actually send samples of that at least twice a week to people all over.
Okay.
I'm sending samples to Australia.
Oh wow!
Australia and Paraguay this week because they are. Hey, those countries need oils too, right?
Right. Okay, so we got a couple more minutes left. Last question I have for you is: if someone wanted to try out essential oil, someone maybe new to it, what in your opinion are the best ones to start with?
So what I like to do is kind of figure out and talk to someone about what their needs are.
Okay.
And kind of go from there because, I might say peppermint, but they really need, something for, focus or something like that. And so even though peppermint's great for focus, it might be not what they specifically need or stress or something like that. So I typically have someone give me their like top 3 things they'd like to see, if essential oils can help with allergies or headaches or whatever, and then we kind of go figure out what oils would be best to support them in their body with their needs. So I kind of say it's different for each person. I would say that peppermint is our most used oil in our home. We use it everything from my allergies. I haven't had to take allergy medicine in 6 years, which is amazing because I've taken allergy medicine since I was 12.
Wow.
I love peppermint for the headaches and the support, for just like focus, cooling your body down in the summer. I even put it on our
Tell them about that because do you have a spray?
Oh yeah, I just have a spray bottle of water and peppermint, and when I'm getting overheated, we're at boys' baseball game, just spray it and it cools your body down, and it's also nice. Natural,
I can't wait to try it.
Natural bug repellent, so that works too.
Really?
They don't. Yeah, and actually spiders hate it, so that's another great thing. You can put.
I hate spiders.
And ants hate it. And also we put it on our dryer balls in our dryer instead of using those toxic dryer sheets full of chemicals. You can use a dryer ball, and it makes your towels nice and soft and smells really good. And then when you fold them, if it actually does get folded, because in our house things just don't get folded. I know
I have like a basket full of stuff that's been in my room for a week that I haven't folded yet.
But if you do fold them and put them in a linen closet, it's going to make that linen closet smell really good, but also repel spiders.
Nice.
And other bugs. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, I'm going to let her kind of wrap things up with anything that we may have. She wants to talk about that maybe we missed, or I know we had a few questions that she and I had talked about yesterday before she came on, but I'm not sure if we touched everything. But in the meantime, if you have questions, please. Nope, that's not how I do it. Okay, if you have any questions you want her to answer, I'm going to go ahead and keep this going for another 5 to 15 minutes, depending upon if you guys have questions. But if you have questions in the comments, ask a question, and then we will answer that, or I will get you her contact information and you can ask her directly. So is there anything that you wanted to touch on that we haven't already? Because I know we kind of squirreled a couple times and we had interruptions with my children.
It's all right. It's okay. So. I don't think so. I mean, just the thing is, if you've tried essential oils before, maybe they didn't work for you, well, okay, I would like for you to give them another try, but try it with doTERRA and try it with a different product maybe, because like you had said, everybody's body chemistry is different, and so maybe you tried peppermint for a headache, but really you needed to I use Deep Blue for a headache, and there's also different triggers for, headaches and head pain. It could be, stress related or weather. Like as soon as all this crazy weather that's been happening in Missouri recently, like where it's like up and down. Like
I turned my heat back on, y'all.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
So, you might just reach for a different oil. So that's what's really, I think, important about essential oils is there's just always different options. So, and it like one day one might work and the next day something else might work. But there's so many different things. And, another thing I want to say is that there is hope. There's other things out there that can help. And again, I'm not knocking medication because we still use it, but I think there's definitely a front line of defense. And honestly, I would say since starting this business, I have more people on, more customers that are doctors and nurses and physical therapists because we are seeing, we see firsthand, and we want to be healthy.
Well,
right?
there's
and
scientific data that you guys can go to and being in the
if,
science field.
And if you want to see the science behind it, I'm happy to send you. I'm a geek for that, so I have all kinds of articles that can tell you about different things. But I will say, so if you are interested in just even getting a sample, like you're not having to buy anything, just getting a sample and trying them out. I would love for you to contact me with those 3 things that you'd like to see essential oils help. And then I can actually send you samples this week. And what's awesome is I do Facebook Live classes. I have one tonight. I have one Thursday night. I have one on Saturday. And I literally just try to take them. Oh, no, I don't have it on Saturday. That's my son's birthday. Woo! I keep forgetting that. I'm in denial that he's turning 4. But anyway, I'm happy to educate. That's my heart. My heart is not to push a product. It is to educate and empower. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I use my nursing knowledge about the human body and kind of combine that with my essential oil education and then kind of figure out what oils are best for you, for your body and for your budget too. Because I know that sometimes it's expensive, but trying to figure out what can be utilized, because I guarantee you it will be worth it because you can get rid of a lot of other things that you might be using in your home, a lot of different other, over-the-counter medications that you don't need to reach for anymore because you have essential oils.
Awesome. So will you give everybody what information or what your website and stuff is so that they can contact? I'm going to put it in the comments as well, but if you guys are watching and you have a pen and pencil, I'm going to have her go ahead and tell you. But like I said, I'll have it in the comments as well.
So I have a Facebook education group that's just Lauren Hansen /wellness advocate /essential oils, or it might be the opposite. I don't know. I've had it for 6 years. I should remember. But regardless, if you just put Lauren Hansen and essential oils, it will pop up. Yeah, it's essential oils Lauren Hansen wellness advocate. I got it.
Here, I'm gonna flip this around so you can see it.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. So you'll click on. I made her text it to me because I couldn't remember. Like I'm part of it, but I couldn't remember how to.
It's all
but
good.
I will put it in the comments.
So it's just an education page. I do giveaways on there often, and just that's my heart, is to educate so that people know what they are getting and what they can help with and be empowered.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having
me. Great.
Thanks for letting me get out of the house.
I know. Yay! I told her, I was like, I didn't even dress up for you, but I did put clothes on.
Okay.
She came all pretty. I'm like, show me up today.
It's okay.
She's like, I haven't been out of the house. I got to put on makeup.
I'll go home and put on my sweats. It's okay.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, Lauren, for joining us and for teaching us a little bit about essential oils.
Love it.
If you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment on this video or go to her business page on Facebook. Again, I'm going to put that in the comments as well. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. And until next Tuesday, have a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.